All right, I'm excited, but per usual, welcome to an episode of TalkSpace&Co by MomSpace&Co. We have a guest here joining us, Donnya. What's up?
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, but of course, before we get into today's topic, we have to pop the cork. But we've been twisting it up a little bit and popping the cork on our own and bringing the drinks to the conversation. So real quick, tell us, what are you drinking today, ladies? What y'all got in your cups?
I got some cranberry juice.
That works.
I'm hanging out with an acai lemonade. Very tasty. Very tasty.
Wow.
I have orange juice. It was supposed to be a mimosa, but I don't have any more champagne, so this is what we have tonight.
And I just made some red concoction. It's red wine, may or may not have some tequila in it, and also may or may not have some pomegranate punch. But you know, leave it up to your
You
imagination.
made a sangria. That's a sangria.
Kinda. All right, take us, Treese.
All right. So let's chat about what's been going on in the news lately. Some good, some not so good, but we're going to get through it. So let's go. Twitter will be doing a live stream shopping for the first time this year, hosted by the one and only Jason Derulo. It is going to be affiliated with Walmart. And as you are tweeting, you can also shop. Wow. Some of the items include home goods, apparel, electronics, and Facebook and YouTube are also going to stream. It's going to be about 30 minutes on Twitter, and then Facebook and YouTube are also going to stream their own type of online shopping streaming. Guys, this is the future. This is the future. But honestly, last year we did this on IG, so I feel like we did it first. Just gonna say.
I was gonna say it sounds familiar, but okay.
Yeah, we definitely started the you know, Twitter, they be watching, stealing all the creators.
Exactly. The algorithm was like, oh, this is a good idea.
Exactly. But Jason Derulo, though, like, do y'all ever watch his TikToks?
Nah, but no. He's popping on TikTok, though. He makes a lot of money.
And that's what got him the job, was his TikToks.
He's popping, but it's just so cheesy sometimes. Like, some of them I'm like, really?
It is.
Honestly, the feed read former music artist turned social media star Jason Derulo is how it read, and I was like,
wow, yeah,
dang.
Yeah,
dang. Like his career's over.
He also cooks, like he'll make the sweetest like stuff ever. Like one was like a pancake with cereal with syrup with like it was just
nasty.
It hurts my mouth just thinking about it.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's where Michael got that inspiration from, because Michael be trying to make me stuff like that and be like, mommy, eat it. I'm like, that's marshmallows and chocolate syrup and they're swimming. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But that's not the only thing that we got, ladies. All of us want to flatten our tummies. Am I correct? So according to dietitians, you should have 4 things on your plate and for breakfast. Those 4 things are oatmeal, eggs, protein shakes, and Greek yogurt. To get the fupa to go bye-bye, you need to eat those 4 things. And I'm telling you, on this list, I already know 2 of those things I ain't touching. I'm sorry, 3.
I already know I know your top one that you're gonna say no to.
What is it?
Oatmeal?
Yep.
I
don't know. Like,
I love oatmeal. I love it, and I like it kind of soupy.
Oh God. Oatmeal is delicious.
It's because it's too much. It's the consistency that's nasty. Oh my God. No.
I can't do it.
I love it.
I'll eat granola, but do not give me that old sloppy, nasty. That is stuff that oh, just
I love the brown sugar with like almond milk and make it kind of
You can't fix it. It's nasty.
So you said oatmeal, eggs, granola. No,
oatmeal, egg, Greek yogurt, and protein shakes.
Oh wow. So could it just be one of those, or it has to be like all of that for breakfast?
Yeah, so it can be one of those, but they're saying that you have to be consistent in making sure that you have those in your diet for breakfast in particular, to make sure that you're able to flatten your tummy. They're like, if you really want it flat, that's what you got to do.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. But unfortunately for me, like the only thing on there that I can eat is, well, no, I actually can't even eat that anymore. So I'm basically just gonna walk around with a food all year long because I can't eat none of that stuff. I don't eat oatmeal. I'm very particular about protein shakes. I don't really eat eggs. They have to be made a certain way, and I can no longer eat yogurt.
You could probably make your own protein shake. Oatmeal does wonders for my milk supply, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna eat it, and that's it.
Now I ate oatmeal cookies when I was breastfeeding for milk, but that bowl, don't bring that bowl to me. I don't want that.
It's crazy because I like grits, but I just don't like that consistency with like sweet stuff. It's nasty. Like smoothies. I don't like my smoothies with like milk. Like it has to just be straight up fruit and ice. Like if it has milk in it, throw it away. Like it's gross.
See, I do breakfast cereal because I like cream of wheat. I will eat grits and do it right. The yellow grits, and oh, I love yellow grits. They're good to my soul.
Yeah.
But like oatmeal, I'm not a fan of hominy grits because they're too, like, it's just texture thing. It's a texture thing.
Yeah, it is. When you mentioned the yellow grits, is that the cornmeal? Because I'm Haitian and we make a lot of, we call it maï moulin. It's the yellow, it's like bigger, a little bit bigger than grits. And it's really good. That's
exactly what it is. And the only places I'm ever able to find it are like the specialty stores. So like we have one out here called Grocers. Sprouts would be another one, which I don't know if they have those back east yet. Probably, I'm thinking Whole Foods sells them too. So, but I like the yellow grits better than the white grits. I'll eat a white grit, but a yellow grit is 10 times better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In my opinion.
Did they put a timeline on how long the fupa will disappear if you eat? How long do I have to go through this?
Well, I don't know. Like with you and I, because neither one of us really eat eggs, so we're messed. Like, huh?
But I'll eat an egg if that's what's going to take this fupa
timeline. But they say you'll see results. So.
And does it have to be a boiled egg or like any type of egg form?
They said any type of egg. They said eggs. They didn't say it had to be any particular types, and doesn't have to be scrambled over easy or whatever. They're saying just incorporate the eggs into your diet. Now, if you do the egg, don't add all the extra stuff that has to go with it, in my opinion, or else the fupa gonna stay. So
yeah,
as bland of an egg as possible.
Good to know.
This next thing, ladies, kind of segues into our discussion for the day. There are 5 things that will lower your sex appeal. Yes. And most of these things pertain to women. The first is sleep deprivation. The second is slouching, which that kind of shocked me. I was like, slouching? Like I know, like automatically you're like, wait a minute. Excuse me. Negative attitude, mind games, and stress and complaining. So avoid those 5 things to keep your sex appeal. I don't know how many of these I agree with. I don't know.
I feel like I agree with all of them. It makes sense. I don't know about slouching. Like that one was new, but I feel like if you got a messed up attitude, like you're not cute to me, you know?
Then I should say slouching is the one I don't agree with. I mean, some dudes might be digging a humpback. They might, that might be their thing. Who knows?
No. Oh my gosh.
I feel like for a woman's body, for some reason, just like sitting up right, it really does. It looks different than like slouching. I feel like for us, especially as millennials, we're used to like slouching on our phone. So that's like kind of normal for everybody. But it does do a little bit something different when you just kind of like up,
No, that's a good point, because I've always wondered, like I wasn't a sloucher when I was younger. I was always like straight up, and like now that I'm older, like I see myself doing this and I'm like, why do I do that? Now it makes sense. I'm constantly on my phone. So it makes all the sense in the world. So now this has to go because I don't want to humpback. My husband already told me certain things that I get later on in life, he does not want to be seen with me out in public. He's like, you can't do that. Don't make sure you don't get that, because I will not take you out.
That reminds me of the meme I sent you yesterday, Lynn, where it was like, guys wait till they look like this to settle down.
Yeah, he had like a whole belly. Like it was like they wait till their bodies look like this, and that's when they're ready. I showed my husband and he chuckled, and I'm like, don't laugh too hard.
I feel like as women, we're more dedicated to like just being around them in their presence than they are to us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just putting it out there. But yes, so our discussion today, ladies, has been inspired by a lot of celebrities discussing their bedroom. Is the bedroom really talk for your girlfriends, or do you keep it to yourself?
And how much is too much to share?
Yeah. Yes, it's not, I don't know. We'll see. All right, we're going to see where we all land when we come back. See you in a bit, company.
Okay, so recently we've been hearing more celebrity women talk about their displeasures in the bedroom with their current partners or past partners. So of course, we had to bring it here. And I want to know how much is too much to share, and should the stuff, I feel like it should stay in the bedroom. So let's talk about it.
Well,
Right. I was about to say, well.
I feel like women, we have this desire to just, I mean, not like spill all the beans, but just talk to someone and just to see if they're going through the same thing. But we do like to just, give a little snippets. You don't want to do everything. Honestly, truly, actually, before I even got married, I heard of stories of women like talking about how great their men were in bed, and like a couple years down, like their friend messed around with their husband. But that's like a small case, but I've heard about those stories. So it's like, I don't know. Too much is never good.
Like, and that's how I feel. I'm like, if I confide in you like that, and then you sleep with my husband, somebody got to die.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's a little extreme.
It is extreme, but I remember I heard about that in high school. I was just like, hold on, like it's just church gossip. I'm like, wait, in church, but that's an extreme. But I feel like too much information is a lot, because I have heard that, like, just in general, even if it's just like an argument within your relationship, like if you were to tell your mom, like they're always gonna remember that, so it's good just like get advice, but not like explain everything.
So what about certain things that might, go ahead, Antonia.
No, go.
No, I was gonna say, are there certain things that like, are you allowed to talk about size, or is that like a complete no?
Absolutely not. You're not about to know about no.
Why?
Absolutely not. And what my husband do is wear gray sweatpants so that you can try to size them.
Get them a smock.
Right.
Now, I think it's different. Like, maybe if you want to say, like, if you have a preference, if you're talking amongst your girlfriends, sure. But yeah, you don't need to know all of that information.
Absolutely.
And I think I also think that, like, I think as adults, as grown women, we're mostly focused on just the outcome, the pleasure. Like, if he's doing what he's supposed to do, if I'm, if things are happening and size doesn't really matter. I've actually seen some TikToks of a lot of women opening up and saying that, they don't like it too big. Like, they just want it to be just right, So I don't think it's important to even mention it, because some women, you don't want it to be too big. On a lot of information, it's too much.
People that like came from, like, I was watching, y'all know I like my reality TV, so I'm watching the Real Housewives of Potomac, and Candy Ass Bassett was talking about her husband, and she mentioned color and size and everything. Wow. So he's got every woman and their husbands all know about this man's penis, and I'm just like, I don't think I could. It's not a discussion I want to have.
Nah. And what's so crazy is I've had like people in the past tell me like, oh yeah, like his ain't where it's at, da, 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 da. And then they end up having like a full-blown relationship with them. And now every time I like think, and I'm like, bruh, you used to say that wasn't it. Now what's going on? So yeah, just don't say
Maybe
nothing.
he had a good personality.
But that's true. I feel like if you've had the experience of like multiple lovers, if you've had that experience, like most people have, you can kind of compensate, like, okay, this one has a great personality, so it's okay that they're not as good as my ex. But is it ever okay to tell your current person that your ex was better?
Absolutely.
Oh, no. Absolutely.
Not if you want to live.
But no,
That's right.
that's rude. I feel like that's information that you don't even have to share. Like, especially if you're in the current relationship with them.
I mean, and that goes
Essentially what happened to Will Smith and like why this conversation even got started, because she was like, he ain't the greatest that I ever had. And it's like,
a mess. She's so annoying. Like, stop talking.
like at some point it's like, shh.
and that goes both ways too, because some of the conversations I have with my girlfriends, I'd be wondering, I'm like, do our husbands have these same conversations? Like, whether it's like cheering on or complaining. And I'm like, here we are, like going to town. And we're like, they better not be doing the same thing.
Now, I can't say that I've seen my husband's text messages because I don't, because if I saw it, I'm sure I would be in my feelings. But yes, I'm pretty sure that they probably have it. Like, even if it's like just like a random off of social media and they drop it in the group chat, they probably just, start talking.
They're groupies.
I did try to kill Philip once after the babies were born. We were watching the Olympics. This is 2016. And some lady with some really nice shorts on and a nice derriere, they kind of like zoomed in on it. And all of a sudden I heard him go, dang. And I was like, did you drop something in the kitchen? Did you drop something? You better not drop something in the kitchen. And he's looking at me. He's like, what do I do, deer in headlights?
Care about stuff like that.
But do you really, I mean, does that bother you?
No.
I had just had a baby, so it did at that time. But now, no, not at all.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'm probably like, I'm looking with you. Where's that? Let me see. To tap into this Will Smith, I know we said that we were probably going to try to not go there, but Will Smith and Jada. Now, the whole conversation wasn't her, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I misread her, talking about how she did say she wasn't, I guess, not satisfied all the way. But is that a conversation that you do have with your spouse about, the expectations of what you like, what you don't like, so that you can avoid being dissatisfied?
If it's the video, the show referencing when they had like the sex expert on there, I watched it through. And I feel like she didn't really say she was dissatisfied. She was just saying she was so young and she was trying to figure out why he's not understanding what she likes and why she has to like tell him. And then I was just like, you know what? I feel like I went through that, but that's just with basic things like, you should know I'm not happy. You should know you should have brought me some fries or something like that, but nothing in the bed. I don't think she really said like I was dissatisfied, but then Will came out with a quote from his book saying that he did his best to like meet her needs or whatever. He wanted to make sure that like he was good in bed for her. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're thinking about the same thing. Like he just wasn't really meeting her needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of blew over for me because we all love them two together. And there's just so many cracks in it. I'm like, what is going on with you
So
two?
many cracks. And we kind of all knew that something was different with their marriage or their relationship. Like, it's like, so what y'all really be doing? But, that's none of our business. That's married folk business. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a conversation to have though with your spouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I definitely think it's a conversation like we need to have it, especially for couples who have been together for a long time. I'm not the same person I was when I was 20, 25, even last year, things change, needs change, requirements change, all of that. So it's like having that conversation with your spouse. Yeah, absolutely. Learn and grow together.
You're allowed to say when you're bored, but I'm going to throw a wrench in this. What happens when your bestie is of the opposite sex? Do you tell your bestie about what's going on in your marriage in your bed? Like,
absolutely.
Lord, what do you think? Like, do you ever reach out to that person and like confide in that person? Because like, I feel like bored is a safe conversation to have with your girlfriends. And they can kind of like help you, whatever. Like, I'm bored, but not like, like putting your husband on blast. But like, like I'm bored. Have y'all ever experienced this? Try to spice it up. What happens when that bestie's of the opposite sex?
It's an absolute.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't even.
That.
Yeah, you shouldn't even have an opposite sex best friend at that point, because once you marry me, I am I am your best friend. I am your only no, but I'm of the opposite sex. Can you have close friends? Absolutely, but there's boundaries to that relationship too, and that's one of them. Oh, bless you. And that's one of them of not, going back to talk about anything that has to do with our relationship. You could go talk about the Sky or the Eagles game, but you're not discussing our relationship. So, yeah.
I feel like that's I think with opposite sex, it just doesn't make sense to be talking about sex at all. Just with the girls, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So I guess in having this discussion, there's so many elements that you can have to your sex in the bedroom. And I have to wonder, can you talk the frequency talk? And I will share my story. Can you talk the frequency talk?
To your friends.
To your friends, among your girlfriends, would you say, oh yeah, we get it in 4 times a week, we get it in once a month? Is that okay to have the conversation? Is that an okay conversation?
I think so. Why not?
I mean,
it's crazy. I feel like it's never the beginning of a conversation, but some women they would state it as in like my husband's very needy, he wants it all the time. But for me, I can do it once a month. I've had a lot of friends we're all on the same page. I don't need it that often as my husband. And that's when the frequency will pop up. And I'm like, okay, we're on the same page because I don't need it all the time either. So that's the only time I've seen it where it popped up, in a natural conversation where we've noticed that our partner prefers it literally twice a day, every day of the week. And it's I need space.
That or the opposite. You'd be like, girl, why did, I got all cute and whatever, and he fell asleep.
Oh, tonight you tired. Okay.
Right.
For us, we plan it. We got to get cute. We got to do this. We got to do that all before we lead up to it, where it's they come home and they just ow.
I will tell you,
and you're supposed to be ready.
Right.
My own personal story, young in marriage. So we were talking, and we weren't talking about details and size and blah, blah, blah. But we were talking about frequency, and I threw our number out there. I'm not going to throw that number out there again, but we're healthy and the doctor's DMs are empty right now. I intend to keep them that way. So, so I just threw it out there. I was like, oh yeah, we go blah, blah, blah many times a week. Well, somehow it got back to a husband in the group.
Oh, wow.
And the husband then said, we were all together again one other time. And he just was like, yeah, because I hear y'all be doing it such and such many times a week. And I'm like, lay gas.
First of all, that pillow talk needed to stay on the pillow.
Pillow talk.
Did you really have this conversation with
That's
y'all?
when I would snatch my husband up so fast. I will never tell you nothing ever again.
I mean, the sheer embarrassment, because my husband was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And I'm just like, okay, I don't have friends in this group. This is not a safe space. It was really her complaining because she was more active than he was. So when she heard my number, she was like, how come you can't? So now he's like, bruh, you don't put me in a spot because your wife over here bragging about you, type of thing. That's funny.
That was foul of him to bring that up, especially a social setting. All the couples, what are you doing?
It was like 7 couples deep. It was not a good moment.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. Not okay.
So that's what
I think you just have to know your audience for sure, and how much to share with, who to share, who you can share things with, because it's very few people that will go into detail with or have honest, open conversations about things about. So yeah, knowing your audience for sure.
And I think as wives, we honestly know. We tell our husbands everything, and so that's one thing that we have to keep in mind, but we don't even consider that when we're in the middle of a conversation. But we low-key do tell our husbands a lot. Yo, let me tell you the tea. It's just really I just chatting and they really be tuning in. But yeah, that is something to consider but men are very low key and quiet. That's why I was like, wow, I'm surprised that he would say that with all these couples there. But
he was comfortable.
I was gonna say, he was straight in his feelings. That's why he said it. He was in his feelings.
mm-hmm.
That's what I was about to say. He was bitter and like, how y'all doing this?
His feelings.
He felt left out. Like, let me know.
Yes, that gentleman was in his feelings for sure, and it took a while for me to be like,
excuse me,
looking at him sideways from the other stuff that she had to say about him in the bedroom. Yeah. Which I'm like, also, your girlfriends will judge. They'd be like,
yeah,
got her over there starving. He ain't nothing. Absolutely.
I don't know. I think talking about the frequency, again, the setting that you're in, like, I don't know. I wouldn't just try to say that all out here on YouTube because that's not y'all business. But like, if I'm like in one little space and with people, we kicking it, having a casual conversation. Yeah.
Not because I don't trust him. I don't trust them.
And I say that all the time. It's not about you. It's about them.
Let's just face it. Guys are dumb. They have no idea how conniving women actually are when they see something they want. Like, that is a very real. I need prayer. Can you pray with me? No. No.
Listen.
My husband and I actually have the same, like, he has the Face ID. His face is on mine and my face is on his. Like, and he's not that social online. It's like, I'm like good with him. But you're right. Women are very just, I know this is one time because my husband's from Ethiopia. One of his old high school friends hit him up like, hey, remember we used to date and this and that? I'm like, what? Like, there's no need to, reminisce on the past. Like, and you're in Ethiopia, back up, relax. Take several seats. But yeah, they're really doing the most. Like, you really never know.
Exactly. I mean, I have friends who live overseas and are in relationships where polygamy is something that they practice. And even though them as a couple, they don't practice it, but they've had women that are like, are you looking for a second wife? No. Didn't ask. No.
I won't go down that road, but yeah. I just had like way back when my husband and I were not husband and wife. Yeah, I'm not gonna go because it could get
That's a conversation for another episode.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But
no, I think honestly that's something that you should think of as a consequence when you start having these type of conversations, because we have to admit, not every woman is a sister, and that's just the honest to God's truth.
True. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I be trying to tell them, like, yo, if they see you, they like you, they gonna make their way, but it's not gonna be in the way that you expect it. It's gonna be in like, oh, let's just be friends, yeah, and then they'll get close to us, and then all of a sudden, nah.
I need a new apartment. Can you help me?
Absolutely not.
I'll help you find
first.
Better roll by Home Depot and pay somebody $20.
Thank you. But they will hop on.
My husband had a meeting the other day, and the lady was like, do you mind meeting for lunch to discuss documents? And he sent me a screenshot, and I was like, send back to her. Let me see what time my wife goes on her break, because we will meet you there. No. We don't play that. Mm-mm. No,
so and he thought it was hilarious. Since we're kind of going down that path, I don't want to go too far because I know whatever. But let's say I'm watching and I'm just like, wow, like these women sound really insecure. Like, why do they need to be a part of their husbands? Like, checking the DMs or like being that with they're just friends. Like, why are you like overreacting? Or, what would you say to?
So my husband have friends of the opposite sex. I trust them 100%. If my husband says to me right now, hey, I'm going out with such and such, we're going to go get drinks, go for it. Because I've already tested that person's spirit. I've already known about that person or whatever. Like, I do not care. Women who are privy to certain information and then suddenly pop up, red flag, you're suspicious too.
No, I get that. Yeah. Especially if you're in the DMs. We don't know you.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger. But I guess with the conversations, how it's going, obviously we're not about to spill the beans because we're all married. Well, thank you all so much for, just chiming in on a conversation, of course, one that, some may shy away from having, but nonetheless, we're here to just talk about it, regardless of how, others may feel or see. There's things that we as women, we've grown up on, conditioned to think a certain way about sex, especially sex in our bodies. And I could keep going with that part, but what sex is supposed to look like. I don't think we've all really had a conversation about sex with your husband and what that can be. Just more so sex is don't do it. You'll get STDs or whatever else is out there. Tree said you'll die. Don't drink out my good cups type thing. So we definitely need to start reshaping the way we think about sex. I would say for marriage. I know others are probably in committed relationships, but I think married sex definitely hits different, pun intended. But be sure to tune in next week for a new episode. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you tune into your podcasts. And also on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I feel like we don't say that enough. But Donnya, thank you so much for joining the conversation today and opening up and just having it with us. Do you want to share anything about yourself? I didn't know.
Oh yeah, you can totally follow me at Donnya Nagara blog on Instagram, and I also have a diaper bag and accessories collection called Yuma Collection on Instagram, TikTok, on every platform you can think of. But yeah, this was really fun. I'm glad I had this conversation with you guys.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.